Ever wondered why some men, even the most average, seem to have women flocking to them while you're always the one putting in the effort? It's not just about good looks, a fat wallet, or being a smooth talker. Though those can certainly help, the real secret lies deeper in human psychology. In this video, I'm about to unlock powerful, little-known psychological strategies that will make women come to you, practically without effort. By the end of this video, you'll not only attract women, but you'll have them chasing you, obsessed and eager for your attention. But here's the catch. You've got to stick around till the end, because the final technique we explore will completely reshape the way you think about attraction and relationships. Are you ready to become the man women can't resist? Drop a yes in the comments, and let's get started. Number 1. The emotional magnetism factor. Let's kick things off with a hard truth. If you've ever wondered why she didn't call back after what seemed like an amazing date, or why she ended up with that guy you secretly can't stand, it's not because you weren't good enough. The real reason? You didn't connect with her emotions. Women don't fall for men based on logic. They don't create a checklist of reasons why they should date you. No. Attraction comes from deep within, and it's driven by emotions. Wild, unpredictable, and powerful emotions. Here's a question for you. Have you ever watched a woman fall for a guy who, on paper, didn't seem like much? Maybe he wasn't the best-looking, the richest, or the tallest guy in the room, but for some reason, women flocked to him. Why? Because he knew how to make them feel special, feel wanted, feel curious, feel alive. Emotions are the key to unlocking attraction. When you master how to stir those emotions in a woman, you become the man she can't stop thinking about, the one she daydreams about late at night. But here's the catch. Most men don't get it. They think showing up, being nice, or buying gifts will do the trick. But in today's world, that's not enough. Women have more options than ever, and if you want to stand out, you need to create emotions so intense that they can't be ignored. Think about the guy who's always texting back right away, always available, always doing whatever she wants. Does she admire him? Sure. But does she chase him? Does she think about him when she's lying in bed? Why? Because he's predictable, and predictability kills attraction. If you want her to chase you, you need to spark a sense of mystery, excitement, and yes, even tension. It's not about being manipulative or playing games. It's about creating an irresistible energy. Here's a challenge. Think about a woman you're attracted to. Did you approach her trying to impress her, or did you approach her with the confidence of a man who already knows his worth? The first approach feels forced, right? Like you're trying too hard. But the second approach? Effortless. That's where true attraction begins, and that's what we'll dive into next. Ready to make her chase you? Let's go. Number 2. The power of emotional mastery. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a great conversation with a woman. Everything's going smoothly, and then, out of nowhere, she hits you with a curveball. Maybe she questions your intentions, makes a critical remark, or even mentions another guy. How do you handle it? Most men buckle under pressure, stammering, getting defensive, or worse, desperately trying to win her approval. But here's the game changer. The man who remains calm, who faces her challenge with cool confidence and a slight smile, that's the man she can't stop thinking about. This is the power of stoic control. It's the ability to stay composed when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Women test men constantly, not because they're trying to be difficult, but because they want to know if you're strong enough to handle her and life's unpredictability. Can you stay steady when things get tough, or will you crumble under pressure? Here's the reality. Women are drawn to men who are in control of themselves. If you're easily rattled, desperate for approval, or insecure in the face of challenge, she'll lose interest in a heartbeat. But if you stand firm, emotionally stable, and in charge of your reactions, you become the kind of man she not only respects, but desires. And that's a rare and magnetic quality. Think about the attraction to iconic characters like James Bond. It's not just about his looks or swagger, it's his ability to stay calm under pressure. Whether he's defusing a bomb or escaping a life-or-death situation, he exudes an unshakable calm, sipping a martini as if nothing phases him. That kind of emotional control is incredibly attractive. And the best part? It's something you can cultivate too. Start practicing stoic control daily. When life throws a curveball, pause, breathe, and approach the situation with clarity instead of reacting impulsively. This isn't just about impressing women, it's about becoming a man who can handle life's chaos with grace and confidence. And trust me, when she sees you're unshakable, she won't just be interested. She'll be completely captivated, ready to become that guy. Let's dive deeper into how you can master this skill. Number 3. The art of creating attraction through tension. Let's dive into one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, secrets of attraction. Emotional tension. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Emotional tension is the hidden force that makes women chase you. It's the spark that keeps the connection exciting, what makes her want more of you, and what sets you apart from every other guy trying to get her attention. So, what exactly is emotional tension? It's that feeling of anticipation, of craving something just out of reach, of not knowing if you'll get it. It's the reason people can't stop watching TV shows with cliffhangers. It's why we're drawn to the thrill of the unknown in relationships. Emotional tension is the secret ingredient that keeps her thinking about you when you're not around and makes her yearn for your attention. Imagine this. You're texting a woman, and instead of responding immediately, you take your time, not because you're trying to play games, but because you're busy living your life. She texts again, "Hey, did you get my message?" In that moment, she's thinking about you, wondering where you are and why you haven't replied. That's emotional tension. It's not about being hard to reach. It's about making her miss you, making her want more of you. But it doesn't stop there. Emotional tension thrives on unpredictability. If she always knows what you'll do or say, she'll get bored. But if you mix things up, balancing kindness with mystery, seriousness with humor, she'll never know what to expect next, and that's what keeps her hooked. Picture this. You're on a date, and instead of just throwing compliments at her, you tease her playfully. She laughs, but there's a spark of surprise in her eyes. She's not used to a guy who can challenge her in a fun, engaging way. In that moment, you've created emotional tension. She's intrigued. She wants to know more about you. She wants to figure you out. Let me be clear. Emotional tension isn't about playing games or manipulation. It's about creating a dynamic that feels fresh, exciting, and real. It's about being the kind of man who keeps her on her toes, who makes her feel something genuine. When you master emotional tension, you won't have to chase women, they'll be chasing you. Ready to discover more? Let's dive in. Number 4. Creating emotional addiction. Let's dive into what really makes a woman addicted to you. It's not about what you say or even what you do. It's about how you make her feel. Attraction isn't based on logic. It's all about the emotions you spark. Here's the kicker. Emotions are addictive. If you can make her feel a powerful mix of joy, excitement, curiosity, and a touch of intrigue, she'll associate all of those emotions with you. She won't just like you, she'll crave you. Think about it. Why do people re-watch the same movies or listen to the same songs over and over? Because those experiences made them feel something unforgettable. Women operate the same way in relationships. If you're always nice, always predictable, always the safe guy, you'll quickly fade into the background. But if you're the one who knows how to make her feel a whirlwind of positive emotions, you become an experience she never wants to end. So, how do you do this? First, start with joy. Women are drawn to men who can create moments of happiness and fun. This could be as simple as telling a funny story, planning an impromptu adventure, or even giving a compliment that feels genuine and unique. But here's the secret. Don't overdo it. Constant compliments lose their impact. Instead of the usual, "You look great," try something like, "There's something about you tonight. It's like you've got a different energy." She'll feel that compliment on a deeper level. Next up is excitement. Women love the unexpected. Don't settle for the same dinner and a movie routine. Take her somewhere new or surprise her with a thoughtful gesture. Imagine picking her up and saying, "I've got a surprise for you tonight." The anticipation will have her heart racing, and when the surprise is revealed, she'll associate that rush of excitement with you. But the real magic happens when you mix joy and excitement with a dose of curiosity. Keep her guessing just a little bit. When she asks, "What are we doing tonight?" don't spill the beans right away. Let her wonder. Let her feel that building anticipation. When you finally reveal your plan, she'll feel like she's part of something exciting and unique. The secret is finding the balance. If you're too predictable, the excitement fades. But if you're too mysterious, she may lose trust. The sweet spot is being just unpredictable enough to keep her intrigued, while always grounding her in positive emotional experiences. When you master this, you won't just be a guy she likes. You'll be the guy she can't stop thinking about. Ready to learn more? Let's go. Number 5. Mastering the art of emotional rhythm. Let me introduce you to one of the most electrifying tools in the game of attraction, the push-pull dynamic. This isn't just a technique, it's a powerful psychological dance that keeps women hooked and emotionally invested. The problem most men face is that they either push too much, showering her with constant attention, or pull too hard, acting distant and unengaged. But the real magic happens when you find the perfect balance. Here's how it works. Push-pull is about giving her just enough attention to make her feel wanted, but not so much that it becomes predictable or taken for granted. It's about showing your interest and then stepping back just enough to make her wonder, what's going on? And when she starts wondering, she starts thinking about you. And thinking about you, that's what makes her chase. Picture this. You're texting her, and the conversation is flowing smoothly. Instead of dragging it out until it loses momentum, you end it on a high note. You could say, "This has been fun, but I've got to run. Let's pick this up later." Now, you've engaged her, but you've also created a pull by leaving her wanting more. That's the push-pull in action. She'll be left thinking about when you'll text her again, and that's when the chase begins. On a date, push-pull becomes even more powerful. Let's say she's laughing at your jokes, and the chemistry is undeniable. You lean in close, lock eyes, and say something like, "You're dangerous," in the best way. But just as she's processing that, you lean back, change the subject, and give her space to wonder. That's the essence of push-pull, intensity followed by distance. That contrast keeps her intrigued, and it's what makes her crave more. Why does this work so well? Because it taps into a basic human desire, the craving for what we can't have fully or immediately. When you're always around, always giving, always there for her, she doesn't have to work for your attention. But when you introduce a little unpredictability and space, she starts to value every interaction and moment she gets with you. And the best part, push-pull doesn't just create attraction, it sustains it, even as relationships evolve. Mastering the push-pull dynamic ensures the spark never fades. But here's the crucial point. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about creating a rhythm that's exciting, engaging, and alive. It's about becoming the kind of man who knows how to keep things fresh and intriguing, balancing intensity with ease. When you nail this, she won't just want you, she'll feel like she needs you. Number 6. Harnessing the power of fear and attraction. Now we're stepping into the heart of attraction, the delicate dance between fear and desire. But before we go deeper, let's clarify one thing. When I talk about fear, I'm not referring to making her feel unsafe or anxious in a harmful way. What I mean is a very specific type of fear, the fear of loss. Here's the reality. People value what they think they might lose, and women are no exception. Think about it. If you had endless access to something, would you appreciate it as much? Probably not. But if it were rare, hard to get, or at risk of slipping away, you'd treasure it. This is the exact principle that applies to relationships. When a woman feels that she has to earn your attention, that your time and energy aren't automatically guaranteed, she begins to value you more. Let's play this out with an example. You've been seeing someone for a while, and suddenly you notice that she's starting to take you for granted. Instead of pushing harder or trying to please her more, you subtly pull back. You begin to invest more time in your own life, your goals, your passions, your hobbies. You remain respectful and kind, but you stop being as readily available. What happens next? She starts to notice your absence. The emotional shift happens when she starts thinking, wait, what if I'm losing him? That twinge of fear activates her desire once again. But fear alone won't cut it. She has to still desire you deeply for that fear to work. If she's scared of losing you but doesn't want you in the first place, she'll just let go. That's why the emotional connection, filled with joy, excitement, and intrigue, has to be kept alive. Fear and desire work together to create an emotional pull that's nearly irresistible. Think of it like this. Fear is the spark, but desire is the flame. Fear gets her attention, but desire is what keeps her craving more. And when you get the balance right, you become unforgettable. However, there's a critical line you must never cross: manipulation. Using fear and desire wisely means creating an environment where she values you and your attention, not where she feels controlled or pressured. The best way to navigate this is to always come from a place of self-respect. When you value your own time and energy, she'll start to value it too. That's when the magic happens, and you'll find that she doesn't just want you, she needs you. Mastering the art of intrigue. Let me ask you something. Why do we find ourselves captivated by mysterious people, suspenseful movies, or unsolved mysteries? It's because the mind craves what it doesn't fully understand. We are naturally drawn to the unknown, the things that challenge us to dig deeper and figure out the answers. This same principle applies to attraction. Mystery is an incredibly powerful tool, yet in a world where everything is instantly shared, mystery has become a rarity. If you can cultivate it, you'll become a magnetic force that stands out from every other guy she meets. But what does it mean to be mysterious? It's not about being shady or deliberately withholding. It's about being strategic, with what you reveal and when. Think of yourself as a book she wants to read, not a pamphlet she can skim in 5 minutes. If you reveal too much too soon, you kill the intrigue. But if you let her uncover who you are, gradually, it sparks curiosity and leaves her wanting more. So, how do you create this sense of mystery? Start by practicing selective sharing. If she asks about your past, don't launch into a full life story. Share just enough to spark her curiosity, but leave the rest open-ended. For example, instead of telling her the exact details of your career history, you might say, "I've done some creative work over the years. It's a long story, but maybe I'll share it with you sometime." This creates a cliffhanger, making her want to know more. Mystery also lies in your actions. If you're constantly available, always agreeing to plans, and overly predictable, you stop being intriguing. Instead, keep her guessing. Maybe you don't respond to her text immediately, not because you're playing games, but because you're busy living your life. Maybe you surprise her with a spontaneous date or an unexpected gesture. This keeps her on her toes, never quite sure what's coming next. Here's where stoicism comes in. Mystery isn't just about what you do or say, it's how you carried yourself. A stoic man exudes natural mystery because he's composed, unflappable, and doesn't overshare or overreact. This calm, controlled presence creates an aura of intrigue. People start wondering, what's going on in his mind? What's his story? That sense of wonder pulls women in. Imagine you're on a date, and she asks a provocative question like, "Why are you still single?" Instead of getting defensive or offering an explanation, a stoic man might simply smile, sip his drink, and reply, "I guess I just haven't met anyone who's given me a reason to change that yet." That response is cool, collected, and filled with mystery. It shows you're selective, you value yourself, and you're not rushing to settle. Mystery ties directly into scarcity. If you're always accessible, always available, always an open book, she won't feel the need to chase you. But when you show that your time, your attention, and your emotional world are invaluable, she'll start to crave them. When she feels like she has to earn access to you, she'll become more invested. Take a moment and ask yourself, what parts of your life do you overshare? Is it your emotions, your schedule, your thoughts? Start pulling back just a little. Don't hide who you are or lie about it. That's not the point. The point is to give her the opportunity to discover you bit by bit. The more she uncovers, the more she'll be hooked, and the more she'll chase. To get the full picture. Number 8. Mastering emotional balance and connection. Let's dive into one of the most crucial and often misunderstood concepts in building meaningful relationships: emotional availability. You've likely heard the phrase, "She wants a man who's emotionally available." But here's the twist. What women truly desire is a man who has emotional intelligence, not emotional excess. Let me break it down. Being emotionally available isn't about spilling your heart out at every turn or unloading every thought on her. It's about knowing how to express your emotions in a way that reflects strength, not weakness. It's about having the ability to open up, but only when it's right, and maintaining control over your emotions instead of letting them dictate your behavior. Think about this. Emotional excess is a turn-off. If you're constantly complaining, seeking constant validation, or oversharing, you risk becoming an emotional burden rather than an attractive partner. But when you show her that you can manage your emotions, facing challenges with calm resolve, handling stress without losing composure, that's when you start to earn her respect. Emotional availability is like seasoning. When used sparingly, it enhances the relationship, creating intrigue and depth. But too much can overwhelm the connection. When you share just enough, it allows her to feel like she's earned a deeper place in your world, a rare privilege she cherishes. Imagine you're facing a tough time at work. Instead of going into a rant about it, you simply acknowledge it. "It's been a tough week, but I've got it under control. Let's focus on something more fun." By doing this, you show her you're human, but also that you're strong enough to handle it without dragging her down into your emotional turmoil. That balance, vulnerability with strength, is what makes her respect you. Emotional availability works best when it's gradual. You don't want to dump everything all at once. Instead, let her earn your vulnerability bit by bit. For example, if she asks about your past, instead of going into all the details, you might say, "I've had some tough experiences, but I'd prefer to talk about them when the time's right." That keeps her curious, invested, and gives her a sense of exclusivity when you do choose to open up. But it's not just about sharing your feelings, it's also about how you handle hers. When she's upset, do you get defensive or freeze up? Or can you stay calm, listen, and offer support? When she's happy, do you genuinely celebrate with her or downplay her emotions? Your ability to navigate her feelings with empathy and calmness shows her that you are someone who she can rely on, someone who adds emotional stability to her life. Here's an example. If she's venting about a frustrating situation, instead of trying to fix it right away or telling her to get over it, just listen. Let her talk it out. That presence and empathy is what makes her feel understood and supported. You don't need to solve everything. Sometimes just being there is enough. Lastly, remember, emotional availability is a two-way street. If she's not offering the same level of emotional support or respect, that's a red flag. Relationships need balance, give and take. If you're the only one giving emotionally, it's time to reassess. When you master the art of emotional availability, knowing when to be vulnerable and when to stay strong, you'll become the kind of man who stands out from the crowd. You won't just be a guy she can lean on, you'll be someone she deeply values and can't stop thinking about. And that's how you build a lasting, genuine connection. The ball's in your court now. You have the knowledge, the tools. Now it's time to take bold action. If this hit home for you, don't let it stop here. Hit that subscribe button and join a brotherhood of men dedicated to leveling up in life and love. Your support fuels this movement, helping more men just like you access the transformative insights they need. Drop a comment below with, "I choose to lead, not chase." Because when you step into your power, everything begins to shift in your favor. And before you go, smash that like button, turn on your notifications, and get ready for more game-changing wisdom that will elevate your life. Let's grow, let's dominate, and let's thrive together.